Hello everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. And today I'm finally making my return to the movie theater. It's been a long time since I've been out to the movie theater to see a movie. Of course, I had COVID over the past week and a half. Quarantine finally lifted. So I'm able to get out and get to the theater. So I hope everyone is having an incredible holiday season. Of course, COVID had to hit me over Christmas break, so I didn't get to spend Christmas with my family, but we will be doing our Christmas over New Year's, actually. So I hope everybody's having an amazing New Year's weekend. I'm assuming today's Thursday, so I'm assuming that by the time I put this out there, you'll be watching it around Friday, Saturday time. So I hope you all are having an incredible New Year's, like I said. Today I am going to see Babylon, which was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and it is a movie that I really hated missing out on last week because I really wanted to watch it when it came out. I've heard this movie is not performing well, and of course it has to compete with Avatar, which I still have yet to see because of COVID, so I'm going to hopefully get out to a theater to see Avatar as well this weekend if I have time. If not, I'll be doing it early next week before I have to go back to work. And going to get to see that one as well because I do want to see that. I'm excited for it. But I wish movies like Babylon would do better because they're movies that are kind of like, they're adult movies. They're more, awards oriented. And I understand the various reasons as to why Babylon is struggling. But nonetheless, I want to support this type of movie as often as possible. So I'm really excited for this. Margot Robbie, of course, is the lead in this movie. And Margot Robbie is easily my favorite actress currently working today. I mean, she's obviously gorgeous. She's one of my celebrity crushes. But I think she's just incredible at what she does. And her in the dress on the poster of this movie, oh my God. Chef's kiss. Her wearing that dress, she can rock that dress. Nonetheless, I'm really excited to see what she does in the movie. I'm excited to see Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is also in this. Again, one of my favorite actors currently working today. If you could take some of my favorite, top 5 favorite actor, top 5 favorite actress, put them both in the same movie, I am here. Definitely. So I'm really excited for this movie. It's not doing well. I've heard that the reviews are very mixed. It's 3 hours long. I don't care. I am really excited. So my expectations are somewhat tempered because of the reception that it's gotten. But nonetheless, I'm still expecting to enjoy this movie, and I have a feeling this is going to be one of those movies that I kind of disagree with a lot of critics and audiences on, but we'll see. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm going to go in there. I'm going to spend the next 3 hours watching Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt in Damien Chazelle's Babylon. I'm going to hopefully enjoy myself, fingers crossed, and I will be back in just a few seconds for you guys, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on the movie.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, just left the theater from seeing Babylon, and that was a wild, wild movie. First of all, it's the oddest, most unique movie about movies that I've ever seen, I think. It is, it seems like Hollywood's been doing that more and more lately, just kind of, I understand the criticism of it. Kind of feels like you're jerking yourself off a little bit. Just like, hey, look at how amazing Hollywood is. But I tend to like the movies about movies. But even in a year where we're getting 2 pretty huge movies about movies with The Fabelmans and this, I haven't seen The Fabelmans yet, so I can't really comment on that. But this was definitely a unique portrayal of the movies. And really, I think it's driven by amazing performances. Margot Robbie is spectacular in this role. Brad Pitt is very good. He gets some emotional weight with his character as well. Really, all these characters have emotional weight behind them. Diego Calva is the standout. I think even with Margot Robbie and her performance, Diego Calva is the best thing in this movie. He is amazing. I think he is absolutely Academy Award worthy in this movie. Wow. He really, you don't expect it, but he really becomes kind of the core of this story. So it is a very sprawling, epic film, Pacing wise, I had some issues with it. It does kind of jump around in time quite a bit, and sometimes that feels kind of jarring, and you really are kind of disoriented. You don't know what's happening when we are, because it will just cut like years into the future without really telling you. And that was definitely inconsistent throughout the film, because at the beginning it tells you you're in 1926. By the end of the movie, you're in the 50s, but it doesn't like tell you every single time that, hey, we've jumped in time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And I found that kind of confusing. As far as the length of the film, I do think it could have been cut down a little bit, but I think it needed to be at least 2.5 hours. Maybe you could have shaved off 20 minutes of this movie. It's one of those where it kind of feels like it ends many times. Like there's a lot of points where you say, oh, I could have ended it there, or you could have ended it there, but it continues. I'm not really complaining about that, because I think the last like 10 minutes are fantastic. I loved the ending. I thought the ending scene in particular was one of the more unique film sequences that I've seen all year, and I really liked it. I can understand why people may think it's a tad bit pretentious, but I really loved the ending itself. You know, just a few kind of minor things that I could pick at. It feels like it jumps around in tone a lot. The movie is very fast-paced for being over 3 hours long. There's about a 20-minute prologue sequence, which I didn't even realize was a prologue. I thought we were into the movie already. And then about 20 minutes into the movie, you get the title screen. And you're like, oh shit, that was just a prologue scene. Wow, that is the wildest prologue scene I've ever seen. One of the craziest, that scene in particular, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it depicts just an insane party scene, which is what I expected from the film. I expected these debaucherous big parties, Hollywood parties, you know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, that kind of stuff. You get that in the first 20 minutes or so, and you get that sprinkled throughout the film too, but then it just becomes something else. And there's this really odd sequence in the third act of the movie, or maybe it's the end of the second act, I can't really tell, involving Tobey Maguire's character, who is very, very odd. That part just felt strange to me, very strange. I'm not necessarily sure why they chose to take it in that direction, but I'm not sure if it's a complaint or if it's a praise on the movie, because it was very unique. Definitely not where I expected the film to go. So I'm going to kind of wrap up my thoughts here. I'm going to give Babylon 4 stars out of 5. Grade-wise, I'm thinking in the 85% range. I really liked it, and it was strange, it was unique, it was not without its flaws, and it was really, really long. And I can understand why it's getting lukewarm reception, but I think it was a really well-made, creative movie with some awesome performances. So that is Babylon for you. I will hopefully be back on here in a little bit to give you my thoughts on Avatar, so look forward to that in the next few days. I hope to be able to see that one in the next few days. Without further ado, though, have an incredible weekend. I'll talk to you guys later.